Hello everybody, this is an amazing view we've got in front of me. It's so nice out here. I'm currently on State Highway 16 and the last time I was here was about 3 weeks ago. I was actually trying to record a MotoVlog just like this because I was visiting a town called Lee, a place where I'd never been before but I've heard so much about. Jeez, I thought I was coming here late. And look at the mountains, they've got a nice shadow on them. You can see the depth on them. Plus, my brother came to New Zealand and gave me his tinted visor because he no longer has a Shui NXR like I do. It's so nice. You should be able to hear me a lot better now because it's like a 60 zone. 50 zone, not 100. And I prefer 100 zones, but just before recording it gets all choppy, too much wind noise and stuff. And when I started recording I pulled out and got this bike almost to red line, probably like 15,500 RPM, and right there was a police car. I know it's a police car because all the other bikers had been signaling. But what's he going to do? He can't pull me over for revving out a bike without losing traction and without breaking the speed limit. Because this thing tops out in first gear at just under 80 k's an hour. And it sounds amazing when you do it. And it's so fun to ride. So good. Right now it's the middle of winter, so I'm actually absolutely freezing. But I'll persevere. I'll be fine. I'm not sure how well my microphone would pick up with all the wind noise at the moment. But I was really hoping to have more corners around here. I mean, I know this road very well. I come through here a lot, or I used to. Maybe I'll take Woodcock's Road, which cuts through the middle. So right now I'm near the west coast. I'm not on the west coast, I'm near it. It's probably like 3 kilometers to my left, out west. And then if I travel an hour east, I'll end up on the east coast. Or not quite, which is where I went the last time I took the bike out on an excursion. But unfortunately, I was using a chest mount and I can't see the camera. And I didn't realize that the entire time it was mostly just pointing at my petrol tank. Okay. So gripping topics. About 3 weeks ago, I went up north to my hometown, and that was a tactical move. I visited one of my friends who doesn't get out very often. And because my investments have been doing well, I want to ask his opinion on what he would do if he had lots of money, like won the lottery, and how much it would take for him to retire. So during lockdown time, when I returned and didn't have a job just yet, he told me that I can get by on $50,000 per year is my income, and just rent a cheap place and I could be happy for the rest of my life on $50,000. He was talking about me, not himself. Now he works a minimum wage, unskilled job where he doesn't move ahead, and he's on like just above 55, I think. And he refuses to get an education or improve his situation. And he down-talks me like I'm the one who has no money. Okay. Bang, bang. Flash, flash. So I want to know how much it would be for himself. And he does currency trading, but he doesn't make a lot of money. He invests in gold, because everyone else was doing it, so he bought it when it was high and then saw it crash, got depressed, and then sold. But when I asked him the question, which was only able to slip in at a very small window right before I left, what he told me was $100 million actually. There was a nice corner there, so the only place where you can get your knee down until you hit like 50 kilometers north of here. Okay, so back to the finances. $100 million is the number he told me, and he's like nowhere near that amount. Because when I saw him, he said to me, it's like, man, you know, it's so difficult being us. We can't go on living like this because it's so expensive. Hello, click, click. He says that he doesn't like filling his car because he looks at the petrol price and sees that his car is taking over $100 to fill. So you might have seen that this camera was attached and it was recording. However, even though I tightened this all the way down, it still flaps around quite a bit. Under hard accelerating, it just falls back and records the sky. So just up here is Woodcocks Road. I'll take a right and continue the journey. Okay, and I see that I've only got a small window to speak to him about important matters like that because he spent the entire time talking about stuff which I don't care about, so he's not a very good host. And he spent the entire time talking about a backing plate for a sound card for his computer. You know, this ancient old sound card that don't even exist anymore. He was talking about a piece of plastic that's 3D printed that bolts onto the back of it. He spent like 2 hours talking about that and spent like another hour talking about the box for his graphics card. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you since summer. It's now the middle of winter. I was too busy focusing on the RX3 in my mirror that I forgot to look at the corner ahead, so I wasn't set up for that corner properly. Yeah, so I ended up just like standing in this completely dark room, listening to him bang on about a piece of plastic that goes on the back of an ancient sound card and an empty box for a graphics card. And I mentioned before that my brother gave me this visor. Well, that weekend was the weekend that my brother was coming to New Zealand, so I hadn't seen him in a year. And because of that, I was cutting into time that I should spend with my brother, but this was a tactical move, as I said before. So by visiting this friend, it meant that if we were to find out that I was in my hometown, then he wouldn't be complaining about the next time I visit. And the next time, I just couldn't, I don't know where my hand is, I just couldn't visit him because I was taking a girl home and showing her around my hometown and had a brilliant time out on a walk, like a hiking trail sort of thing. And I really didn't want to take her to his house and stand in his dark bedroom while he talked about mundane topics, which this girl, being who she is, has no interest in video games or computers or that sort of stuff. Alright, and then when I was showing her around, I took her around where my parents live, out in the rural areas, and out there was a house for sale. So I've been looking at getting a mortgage and owning a house so I can finally have a garage. And this place next to my parents' house, it's like a decent sized house with a double garage, plus it's got a shed which is also a double garage and could probably fit like 4 vehicles inside. And that whole place was like $1 million. There was another place up the road, also for sale, very similar but older, and that was like $800,000. And then I come back to Auckland here, and of course you'd have to find someplace near your work, which for me is like just south of the central city, and all I could find for around that price are blimmin' townhouses, like 2 bedroom, 1 parking, nowhere else for like motorbikes or cars or bicycles or anything, and they're asking like $1.2, $1.5 million for that, which is just ridiculous. Like close to half that price, you'd get a better house up north in my hometown. But then you don't have like all the stuff that the city has to offer. So I love going to festivals and events and things, and a lot of that doesn't happen. It's just non-existent, like out of the city here, unless you go down to like Hamilton. So out north you'd get like a Diwali festival and maybe like a French culture festival, that sort of stuff. Hello. But aside from that, there's not much to do. Okay, this bike, I've had it for almost a year now, and my gosh, it's so fun. It's my daily rider, it's my weekender, and it just puts a smile on my face so much. I love revving it out. I did have the FZR 250R like 7 or 8 years ago, and heading to work, if you rev it out, it does use a lot of petrol. This thing is the same. So I just filled it up. It cost $20 on premium 95 fuel. And by the time I finish riding here, I imagine that the tank would be near empty again. Just because I'm revving it a lot. Any issues with this bike? Sometimes I do get false neutrals, like going from second into first, but only when I'm revving it out a lot. It gets really loud around 8,000 RPM. Above that, I think it's a little bit less quiet. This road opens up a bit. Oh, quick shifter. I don't like the quick shifter because it does that. It jolts. So it's got a quick shifter on both upshifts and downshifts, but I don't like it. It just jolts too much. There's a 1-lane bridge here. I don't remember this. I remember there being like roadworks here about 10 years ago. I don't remember a 1-lane bridge, and that doesn't look like a new bridge. I know that over here it goes really twisty, and then it goes down a bit, and then into a hairpin. Oh god, it's wet. Man, I should have gone out the seat. Try right-hander, second gear, I think. There's a waterfall there. I know, you're probably disappointed watching this because I'm not going as quick as I should. There's a hairpin here, but it's not the one I was talking about. Oh, broken road. Very wet here. It looks like it's just rained. Here's one hairpin and it goes into a big sweeping right-hander. I don't like the wet mossy road. Here we are. Big right-hander and I'm in second gear. Okay, so to summarize, this bike has been amazing to own. I have actually been looking at bigger bikes, but not because I want to ride them, because I just want to own them, collect them. And with my investment fund going so well as it is, I probably can collect them and just keep them in a storage facility. And also the housing market in Auckland is railway tracks. The housing market's really bad and not worth it. And I visited one of my friends up north who is always having a hard time, so I don't know, it feels like I don't want to, cut them off just because it doesn't align with what I want. There's so many people these days tend to cut off friends just because they become a bit of an annoyance. I just think he needs to learn more about being socially responsible, or understanding that other people don't get excitement out of mundane pieces of plastic like he does. I was actually thinking about turning around somewhere, but damn, if there's going to be like a massive truck just holding up traffic like that, then that's not going to be a good ride. Oh well, thanks for gravel. No thanks for gravel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next MotoVlog.